Let's see. Make sure we're recording. All right, good. We are recording. So welcome, guys, to our call tonight, Sunday night call. And we are going to really focus on the compensation. I do a lot of these presentations for people. I really found the power, and if you can cast the vision, or maybe you're on wanting to learn about the vision, or maybe you don't really understand the compensation plan in its entirety. There's so many ways that we get paid in Isagenix, but Jennifer and I, we really want to talk about the residual income, residual income. I really do believe that if people understood residual income, you would walk through a brick wall to get it. I don't know if you guys have seen that picture out there. It's on Facebook or something, but you literally would walk through a brick wall to get it. So we're going to be showing some like earnings, actually like in our back office. I'm going to go ahead and get into my back office just to kind of, again, cast the vision. Thankful for Jennifer Trinkner, who introduced me to Isagenix. I had a great product experience, and fast forward, I read a book called The 4-Year Career, and that book laid out for me what residual income was, and I didn't know. So this is not a get in, get rich quick income disclaimer. You can go to isagenixearnings.com to see the income disclaimer, to where it's not saying that, hey, you get in, this is what you're going to earn. I mean, this is a very real opportunity. It takes time, it takes work, but it's worth it, right? I went to college for 6 years, and now I out earn a month what a year used to take me. So I'm just going to kind of go here, and then we're going to pull Jen in too. But if you'll see here, guys, where it took a while to gain some momentum, and I'm not showing this to impress, but just to impress upon you, just when I go over this information, like really take a look at this type of earning power that somebody can have that had no experience. And so you'll see, though, where it did take a little while to gain some momentum. Okay, and I'm going to really kind of get into the cycle aspect, but I just want to show this where it does take time to get a little bit of momentum, and momentum is a precious, precious gift. And again, then you have your bonuses that are upfront money, but we're really going to talk about that long-term residual income. Do you want to add anything starting out, Jen, before we get started? You want to share your story for anybody who doesn't know your story?
Sure. For all of you that don't know, first of all, thank you all for joining us tonight, and prayers going out for all those in the path of the storm and being affected by that. Just want you to know that we're thinking about all of you. So I started Isagenix in July of 2011 with no interest at all in this opportunity. I really had no idea about network marketing. All I knew is I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I was pretty closed-minded. I was just looking for a solution to some health challenges that I had. So long story short, I got started, had an incredible experience, just like Casey, and I just couldn't keep it to myself. I mean, it just came so easy for me to talk about to other people because I felt so amazing. And a couple months after that, I decided to be a little open-minded, and there was a meeting in Atlanta, and I went, and that's when I caught the vision of what was truly possible here. And as Casey said, it takes work. I decided to treat it like a business. I knew that it was going to be a learned thing. I had no idea, like I said, how to do this, but I was willing to be coachable. I was willing to learn, and I decided at that moment that I was never giving up. I was never quitting. And it took some time, and Casey will talk about that, and she'll show some numbers too. It took me about a year to get any momentum going. But I expected that, I expected that people were going to think I was crazy, that they were going to think that I, joined a scam. I knew all of those things going in. So I was prepared for it. And Casey will show you, then she'll kind of take over. But the bottom line, you guys, is just don't ever quit and be consistent. That's the key to this. Treat it like a business. Work it into the pockets of your day. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. I wanted to go fast, so I put in the time. But I have a lot of people, a lot of you on this team that have just worked this into the pockets of your day until you replaced your income, full-time income. And hey, that's great too. So I'll let Casey pick it up from here.
And I mean, if there's an award that you can win, business, everything, Jen has taken it all home. So she definitely got very serious about it. And I just want to ask you guys this, because again, I really want you to grasp the idea of residual income, residual income, residual income. So would you rather $1 million right now or a penny that doubles, but only for 30 days and then it stops? Okay. So I was thinking, well, I would want $1 million. Like I could see indefinitely, but just for 30 days, like what can a penny do? You guys, that penny comes to over $5 million. Isagenix, I do not even consider us to be a multi-level marketing company, because we do not get paid on levels. We get paid on our entire organization to unlimited depths. And I'll go over as far as what each business center is worth. But if you'll see here on day 15, if you took the penny and you didn't take the $1 million, right? You're thinking, oh my gosh, I should have taken the $1 million. Already half the month is up. I'm only at $163. Like, what was I thinking? Okay, so that same concept is with the residual income, with that taking time to build. So I just want to share with you, this is where I started. Literally, this was my house, half of this. This was a duplex that I lived in when I started. It doesn't matter where you start, who you know. I knew about 5 people. Nobody wanted to do it with me. Like Jen, people thought I was crazy, but I had a really strong why, right? I wanted to retire my husband, who was able to get out of active duty. This is where I started producing. So I just want to invite every single one of you guys. It doesn't matter where you are right now. If I can build this business, anybody can build this business. It doesn't matter where you are, and then you can make your office wherever you want. But when you're going over these numbers in this comp plan, I really want you to start casting a vision for yourself, finding a why. What is it that drives you? You have to find that, because everything is set up in place for you to have keys to success. You have a strong management team. You talk about the billion-dollar industry of health and wellness, of weight loss, energy, performance, healthy aging, right? You have all of that. And, I invite everybody to watch the history of Isagenix from Kathy Coover, where she really goes over, just how it got started. Gosh, just the Coovers, you guys are amazing. Jim Coover and the compensation plan, they want to pay out more money than any other company. So to really understand all that, that's what sets you up for just such incredible success. You're also going to have a difference between builders and a heart just drew. I don't know how that is. There we go, heart. You're going to have people who are just going to use the products. 89% of people are just going to consume the food, okay? Then you're going to have people that are casually going to share it. So you're going to have casual shares that will refer people now and again. That is not a builder, okay? A builder is somebody who does, like Jen said, whatever's necessary, who's like, I don't care how long it's going to take me, like I'm not quitting, and they take action every single day and they stay consistent. Okay, now those business builders are the one business builder is worth 1,000 product users, even though 89% of people just consume the food, right? Because they're going to be the ones that are showing people the products as well. Okay, so there's a very big difference. So I want you to ask yourself, am I a casual sharer or am I a business builder? Ask yourself that question, and your actions will really kind of help show you which one it is. I really want everybody to understand the difference between like corporate structure and between the compensation plan like Isagenix. I know Jennifer out-earns probably, I don't know, almost everybody in her genealogy. I out-earn a lot of people that are above me, right? You're talking about in terms of production. Now, I use a hospital for me, like how Jen started out. People are going to be skeptical. Is that a scam? Is that a pyramid? Now, I use a nurse, because no matter how hard I worked as a nurse, I was never going to get to the CEO of the hospital salary. Okay. It was not going to happen. I wasn't going to get to the executive. And here these nursing assistants are, way down here, and you're paid based on a title, not paid based on production. So we're really going to talk about production. This is also a book that I encourage everybody to read. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's the #1 best-selling finance book of all time, and it was written by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, now this is something like when I really understood this, like I had to get to the right side of the quadrant. You have employees and small businesses, which account for 95% of the population. And I'm so thankful for people that have jobs and that, are employees and work, right? I think we all are, but 95% of that population is on that left side of the quadrant. Well, 5% of the population controls 95% of the wealth. Why is that? Because they're on the right side of the quadrant. Isagenix is big business. You have what's called leverage. Leverage, leverage, leverage. That's what makes this business so incredible. Okay, passive and residual income. Once you start creating and you have a cash flow of passive income, then you're able to even get into investments. Okay, so on the right side of the quadrant, money works for you and you compound your time, you compound your efforts. Over on the left side of the quadrant, you are using your limited amount of time to go work for money. Okay, that is how, so how can we get over to the right side of the quadrant? Well, luckily, Isagenix business. So if you take one person working 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, that's a 40-hour a week work that somebody's working, okay? Take 10 people doing 1.5 hours for 5 days a week, that's 75 hours it's able to be produced. Take 20 people at just 1.5 hours, that's 5 days a week, okay? That's 150 hours. A huge thing to understand is that if you were going to work and you were gonna work 5 days a week for 24 hours around the clock, all you could put out, all you could produce is 120 hours. That's all you got. So here you're talking 20 people just doing 1.5 hours. You've already exceeded that. That's what big business is. Leverage, leverage, leverage. So again, there's so many different ways to get paid. Jen's gonna share some just incredible numbers we'll talk about on these leadership pools. This is kind of, this to me though, when you're talking rank advancement bonus, PIB, product introductory bonuses, all of that is left side quadrant money. Okay, it's that initial sales kind of done, and then it's the right side though is what we want to get to, the residual, right? To me, a PIB is kind of left side. This is our whole comp plan, guys. So if you're somebody and you feel confused by the comp plan, or you're drawing it out, or you're watching videos, or you're seeing a bunch of circles places, it is not more complicated than this. This is the whole comp plan. I remember, Jen, when you had your first 6-figure month, did over $100,000 in a month. And, it was like, wow, we might not be able to understand like the formula behind these leadership pools, but you were a master. You were a master at you share, they share. Can you just talk about the power of this and keeping it really simple and like how you focus like a ton on this?
Yes, I will, because I was not, I tried to complicate it in the beginning because I felt like it had to be more to it than this. And when I realized that this is all I needed to focus on right here was you share, they share, repeat, or you plus two, you plus two, them plus two, that's what I did. And that's what I focused on. I didn't really focus on the leadership pools. And, there's, as Casey said, there's so many layers to our comp plan and so many ways that you can earn money. But this is what I focused on because I knew that this is what was going to create the residual income. So it's real important. Don't overcomplicate it. You share, they share, repeat. That's all you do, and you keep doing that over and over and over again. Will people fall off? Yes, they will. You keep going. You share with 2 more people. You help them share with 2 more people.
You guys, if you do this 5 times, that's executive. This done 5 times is executive. Okay, because 5 consultants left, 5 right, that's executive. And so that's what Jennifer, you were so masterful at, and that's what created just such those massive incomes. So each business center, you guys, in the residual is $702,000 a year is that they'll pay you in the residual. And I'm going to go over the cycles and explain all of that. Isagenix, when you're an executive, you can also get a 10% match up to $702,000. But again, it's this 6% that I really want to cast the vision for. There's all those bonuses, etc. So here we have, okay, an Isagenix, again, because we're not a multi-level marketing, like level-based company. It is more of a direct accounts, direct sales, that you have a left leg and a right leg. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, is we're 702,000 in that 6%. Okay, so that one cycle equals $54. And if you can sleep tonight, come back and rewatch it, because once you understand this, I'm telling you, you will not be able to sleep when you understand the power of this residual income. So you have a left leg and a right leg, okay, in that cycle. So in direct sales, though, I want to separate this from even direct sales, because in direct sales, you stop selling something, you stop making money. So an example would be, hey, look, buy as many sodas as you want from me for $1, turn around and sell them for $2, knock yourself out. But when you stop selling, you stop getting paid. in network marketing and with Isagenix, we're opening up people their initial vending machine, right? They're getting either their basic pack, their value pack, or their family pack, the ultimate pack. But then anything that ever moves through that online grocery store, we earn 6% or an additional 10%. Okay, that's the difference between direct sales and in network marketing. And when people ask me what I do, I open up online superfood grocery stores for people. And anytime people go grocery shopping, I earn a percentage. It is absolutely fantastic. So every single product in Isagenix has a point value. And I'm going to show you an example of somebody who has a ton of banked business volume, but every single product has a point, and it's going into this little vault right here. Okay, so as long as we are personally purchasing 100 points every 30 days, and when you love Isagenix, that is a very easy thing to do, right? I mean, kids are on it, your parents are on it, you're on it, it's for men, women, it's a very high consumption. And that's something too, if you're really looking at a business opportunity, what's the consumable factor of it? Like, are people using it every single day? I'll use an example. I purchased from network marketers. I always try to support the industry. I'm going to use mascara, for example. Okay, I buy mascara about maybe every 6 months, but I buy food on a daily, weekly basis, right? So that's what I'm talking about, consumption. So every single product has this point value. Now we earn, this is where that 54 comes from, we earn 6%, right, of the 900 points. So 600 on one side, 300 on another makes the 900, and that's that $54. So you're also only purchasing what you're personally consuming. I personally don't do retail. So I want to show, before I get into this slide here, I'm going to go back. Okay. Cycle money. It takes time. Guys, here's my cycle money. Okay. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3. And sometimes I'll have people and they're like, oh man, but my cycle's dipped. Here I am, back down to 0. Okay, we're building for long-term residual. There I am, back down to 0. Didn't make any money that week. Okay, but then here you have it. Okay, then it starts to get steady. Now this is when I went to my first event. So just like how Jennifer said, she went to her first event. If you are serious about this business, so if you're not a casual sharer, if you're a builder, if you're somebody who you want to create generational wealth for you and your family, events can't be optional. Now, this is when I got to executive, and one person came in and really started building with me. Wendy, love you. And so, you see that jump right there in that residual aspect. But so I really just, guys, Jen, talk a little bit about like not getting so caught up in the beginning of like the immediate upfront fast money, and just touch a little bit on that.
Well, that's easy to do, right? The PIB money, you get that fast money. So it's tempting to just build on one side because you want to cycle. But if you really think about building, because you have to have 2 solid teams. In order to get to executive, you have to have builders on your left and builders on your right, they have to have 5 on your left, 5 on your right in order to get to executive. So if you're building down one side, it's going to take you longer to get to executive because, all your people are going to be down one side. So when I started building, I went left, right, left, right, left, right. I had no rhyme or reason. I just did it that way. And I had 2 solid centers, 2 solid teams, equal on both sides. And it doesn't always happen like that. You might have some, 3 builders show up on one side and 1 on the other. But you're going to have, I think, a better chance at having builders show up on both sides if you go left, right, left, right, left, right. So don't focus on that upfront money, even though it's tempting to do. If you're really wanting to build this, focus on the long-term residual income and building a solid business.
Yeah, because again, you do. And I mean, there's a big difference. I mean, you look here, I mean, this is, that is when executive happened for me. I'll also give you guys an example of, okay, well, you're looking, well, how does a $57,000 month, like how does that happen for somebody? So if you'll see here, that PIB money, product introductory bonus, I did $175 in my product introductory bonuses. Now the double is included in that other total, but you'll see where it says, okay, executive match. So that's earning an additional 10% off your personally enrolled people. But that team bonus, that cycle money, right there is that 6% is that 48,000 right there was that measly little 900 points, that measly little $54. It doesn't seem that exciting, right? Oh, what's $54? Well, you start compounding that, and that gets insanely exciting, insanely exciting. So just wanted to cast that for you guys. So if you look here, we're going to say we have a friend named Chelsea, our amazing friend Chelsea. If they introduce us, we'd be forever grateful for them. Okay. You come in, right? So you're going to come in either on a left leg or a right leg, and you'd see it based on your back office on which way the arrows pointed up. So then let's say, okay, you're coming in, or let's say that you've enrolled some product users. Okay. And they're just sitting there and you're enrolling, you're collecting your PIB. Our customers are going to pay $340, $559, or $10.99 before tax and shipping. Okay, so our basic pack with our Isagenix, our value pack, and our family pack, the ultimate one. So that's what they pay. Now we earn the PIB money. Okay, so we either earn $25, $80, or $150. That is what we earn when we are enrolling somebody. Okay, so let's say you're Chelsea and you're enrolling these people right there. Okay, so it doubles Monday through Sunday. So at 12 a.m. Monday, Eastern Standard Time, that's when Monday starts, right? That Sunday night, as soon as 12 a.m. hits on Sunday night, that's when it starts, and it goes to 11:59 p.m. So you can double. So an example of that would be, once you turn yourself an associate and you start enrolling, then you're able to earn money instead of just product rebates. So when a customer comes in, if they want to be an associate, they go in and they enter in their social security number and their birthday, and they watch a video. That then allows them to bank volume. And again, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you an example of somebody who has bank volume. So now this person gets their legs. Okay, so now you enroll somebody on your left leg, somebody on your right leg. Let's say that you did the value pack. Okay, you would get $80 and $80. But if you did it Monday through Sunday, you're going to get $160 and $160. Okay, that's that product introductory bonus. That's that upfront money so that people can get paid while they're building their residual business. Now, when you have a customer on your left and a customer on your right at 100 points, all of our packs exceed 100 points, that makes you a consultant. Okay. But again, you're going to be enrolling people. Are you doubling them? What pack are you doing? I can't say for sure that that's a constant figure, because it's going to depend on what pack you're enrolling and are you doubling them. Okay. So that's not a constant figure that you can say, but for sure, when you turn consultant, you would earn $50 as a one-time consultant bonus. But now that gives you the ability to pull out 6%. An associate at 100 points can bank volume. A consultant can actually start taking out the cycles, those $54, okay, the cycle. So again, here, if Chelsea's enrolling people, you're seeing what Chelsea's doing is in blue, what you're doing is in purple, okay? So you're enrolling people on your left, you're enrolling people on your right. To get to manager, which is the you share, they share, really what Jen said is what she laser focused in on. It's now helping your people share it with two people. See, when this person shares, they share here, they share here. Okay, this person shares with two people, they go left, they go right. Okay, so everybody has their own left leg and right leg. Again, we're not paid on some levels. When you have somebody that you've personally enrolled becomes a consultant, you get $100. So for sure, for a manager, you would have $200 more. They would have received the product introductory bonus. Okay, and again, this has nothing to do with the cycles. If you did that in your first 60 days from becoming an associate, you'll get a bonus of $250. Next step is we go direct. And again, I mean, it's as simple as this person now enrolls two people. See how they go all the way down there. You get $100 when they turn consultant, $100 when they turn consultant. Because again, guys, a consultant is just somebody who has a customer on the left side and a customer on the right side. Okay, then this person shared with two people, they go left and they enroll right. Okay, and again, you get $100. So a director is somebody who has a total of 6 consultants. So for sure you would have $400 more. And again, what packs did you use? Did you double them? If you did that in your first 120 days, you would get an additional $750. Executive is when you have what Jen was talking about, why you don't just want to focus on one side. You want to do both sides and not focus on that cycle chasing, is you want to have 5 consultants on the left and 5 on the right. Okay, so then this person enrolls 2 people, this person enrolled 2 people. I mean, you guys, all it is, even though this can look a little confusing, it's that same thing of you share, they share, repeat. That is all that it is, okay? So when you have that, and like Jen said, people are gonna fall off. Not everybody is gonna enroll people that you enroll. 89% of people are just gonna consume the food. So don't get obsessed with that either. You wanna constantly keep inviting people to take a look. So executive, for sure, you would have $400 more. If you do this in your first 180 days, you'll get an additional $1,000. There's a really great video. It's called Fast Track to Executive.com, and I would go and watch that video, because you guys, if you're not showing this to people, people have no idea that there's something to even build, okay? But that long term is 600 points on one side, 300 points on another side is that 900, that $54. When you have 150,000 points weekly on one side and 75,000 points a week on another side, that is a maxed out business center. How I said this center is worth $702,000 in residual income. That's 250 cycles a week. That's what you can build this center to. But again, if I cycle 100 times, Jennifer gets 10 cycles. If I cycle 200 times, Jennifer gets 20 cycles off of me. So you can earn your 25 cycles off of somebody's maxed out business center. So that 10% will be an additional 702,000. Then there's all these other bonuses. When the first time you hit 10 cycles, 5 cycles, 10 cycles, 20 cycles, 40 cycles, this is all, again, you guys, bonus money, which is awesome. But again, I want to know how I can go to Europe for 3 months and still earn $13,500 a week and 6% and in 10%. Now, when you do this, you get to then re-enter above yourself. Okay, this is what's called a re-entry. This is very different than a lot of comp plans too. And a lot of comp plans, you have to actually, if they let you re-enter, you have to kind of go below yourself. Isagenix comes and puts you above yourself. So how in your first center, it took 150,000 points on one side and 75,000 points on another side. In your second center, your 150 is already done, because you have actually been placed above yourself. And so then anytime 300 points comes out, right, goes in on your new center, you're gonna cycle, because you're 150 points or 150,000 points weekly, right there. So that's the power, and you can build as many centers as you want. You guys, do you realize you can will these spots to your children? We're talking generational wealth here. And again, that's just the 6%. Like I said, the bonus money is exciting to get people paid quickly. But to me, what is going to keep me up late or get me up early or share the story one more time? You know, I 3 hours today I drove to go just get in front of a group of people, Dawn, just because she's so excited, because I want to share the story one more time, because it's, 6%. Now, as a nurse, I received a $1.50 raise, a $1.50 raise as a registered nurse. That is what's called arithmetic progression. Okay, that is that's corporate, that's arithmetic progression. Now in geometric progression, just like how I showed those massive quantum leaps in income, that's because you're not in a pyramid. You're paid based on production, not paid based on title. You guys, that's your overhead. I personally, with my accountant, you can check with yours, I write off my overhead, my food. So even what I'm purchasing to have $1 million business, I write it off. So I'm going to share with you guys this to hopefully cast the vision. My colors changed. I don't know how that happened, but it's all good. And then I'm going to show you, again, kind of like where Jen started, and then how that compounds, and she can kind of really hit hard on that pool money and the power of being executive. But over time, do you feel like you can educate 2 people on your left and 2 people on your right who get it? Because again, guys, this is the whole comp plan, right? You share, they share, repeat. You share, they share, repeat. So once you have somebody who's all in, we don't stop. So I'm going to give you figures of just billers. So we're going to take out the 89% of people who are just consuming the food, and I'm going to show you figures based on finding your 1 to 3%ers that really treat this like a true business, because that will compound over time. Okay, they won't stop. So everybody's going to have 4. So you have 4 people who each enroll 4. Okay, now those 4 enroll 4, that's 16. 16 each enroll 4, that's 64. 64 each enroll 4, that's 256. So you tally it all up, you have 340 people just from you, the original 4, right? You have 340 people now total. If they were just purchasing the minimum amount, that's over $50,000 of groceries moving through your online grocery stores. That's over $2,000 a month in residual income. If you would have to have over $800,000 sitting in a bank if you wanted your bank to pay you $2,000 a month for your money sitting there, according to most bank institutes. Which one's easier? You think educating 2 on your left and 2 on your right, or accumulating $800,000 in the bank? Take it a step further. You guys, this is a quantum leap. This is where the sum gets greater than the whole, and how Jennifer says, just don't quit. Keep going, right? It's this where it just starts to compound then as you've been in longer. $200,000 of groceries moving through your online grocery stores. That's over $8,000 a month in residual income. Take it a step further, right? Now you've had another massive quantum leap where, again, I mean, even if this took me 15 years, it would be worth it. I would never have earned $30,000 a month as a registered nurse. This isn't your time frame or anything. This is just saying if this was the time that it was taking to compound, I would have never earned this as a nurse. So 250 cycles a week is $13,500 a week in residual income, and that's just the 6%, you guys. So here we have Jen starting out. So back in September of 2011, where she earned $500. So these are screenshots. So, and then you say, okay, well, that's awesome. And then, all right, so a year later, she was able to give herself over a $5,000 raise or a $6,000 raise, like a year later. But see how it was like 2,000 and 6,000 and 3,000. I imagine some pool money, your PIB. And then you talk about here, Jen, where, okay, you have $100,000 month. And I know one time, I mean, you had a bonus pool. I remember of your leadership payout was like $57,000 in your pool money. Talk a little bit about like when you started getting pool monies and just like the differences in that.
Well, I mean, you see a big change there because it took me a while to get to executive. And once I hit executive, just like you said, you earn so much money in the pools. So I've earned 30,000, 50,000, 16,000. I mean, that's just added money on top of this residual income, and it still blows my mind. And then, you know, to give you an idea for being executive and getting paid that 10% on all of your consultants, I earn like well over 100 extra cycles a week just off of all of my consultants. So getting to executive and beyond is so much added money on top of the already crazy residual income that we earn.
You know, Jen, something that you do, I mean, you've mastered the mundane. I think people think that there's something amazing that you must be doing. You must have some secret sauce to be able to have $100,000 months. This is what, these are your re-entries. So if we'll look here, this is just to give you an idea, guys. So like these are her first centers right here that we're looking at. And that's what I'm talking about when you talk about that unlimited wealth. Now these are re-entries that she's playing in. So this is what she's earning in addition in that second business center, and see how quickly she was able to get compared to what it took you the first time, because I mean, 150,000 weekly points is already over there for you in your second one. But I mean, talk about mastering the mundane. Like, well, I mean, is it super exciting what you do all day? Like,
it's really not. Most of the time I look like a hot mess and I'm sitting, you call it AIC, it's ass in chair. And I'm connecting with new people. I'm following up. I'm doing 3-way calls. That is what I do. And I love it though. I really do love it, but it is work. You know, it is work. And there have been times that I've had to make sacrifices, but I wanted this and I saw the power of what was possible. So I put in the time. So it's nothing special. There is no secret sauce. I have done nothing crazy special, but I've been very, very consistent in building my brand on Facebook. I had to learn Facebook. I had to learn, you know, how to use social media. I was really new to it, but that's how I built this business. And it's so easy today with the tools that we have in place with social media to share information, to connect, you know, 3-way calls, 3-way messages. We have it so easy. I talk to a lot of people that have been in network marketing, you know, years ago, building a business and getting belly to belly with people. I mean, now it's so super simple, right, Casey? I mean, we can build this from anywhere in the world. Like you said, I can go to Greece for 2.5 weeks and have one of my best, months ever, because that's the power of the residual, because we, put in that time, and, it's all about the residual income.
When I that residual income, it's like I don't know that people fully understand it. Because I just can't imagine not doing this. Like, if you really understand it, and I can say, like, as somebody, like, I had gotten in an accident and my back and everything wasn't working. Like, if I was a nurse, I would have been out on family medical leave, right? I would have been scraping by to pay my bills. And here I am earning, well over, even, being bedridden and not doing anything, over $40,000 a month because of a foundation that I had built and the time that I put in. But I want to ask every single one of you, like, are you showing people geometric progression? Are you showing compounding interest? Here's another friend of ours who is a rock star. I'll let him mention his name if he would like. But you'll see, like, coming right off the bat. Now, a lot of this, though, is PIB money, you guys. Like, this upfront, like, you can do a ton in your PIB money and that upfront money. But I mean, somebody starting, in December of 2014 and being able to get themselves to 3 years later over $10,000 a month consistently, like, where else are you going to be able to do that without having to go back to school, have some kind of degree, all of those things? I mean, it's sitting right here for us. And I want to make sure that we're all educating people about the power of converting our customers to associates, regardless if they're interested in building this business or not, because that's super, super important. Super important. So I'm going to, all right, here we are.
And I'll say something really quick, Casey. Yeah. It really is like having a piece of real estate, right? So even if you convert your people over to associate, and that volume just banks, that's a piece of real estate. So that when they decide to start sharing, they've got all of that volume banked. And I can tell you countless stories of people who were just dedicated product users. Every single month they were ordering the minimum or more. All of that volume was sitting there banked. And then all of a sudden, their friend and their mom wants to get started, and boom, they cycle like crazy a lot of times. So, I mean, I've seen 22 cycles, I've seen 30 cycles, I've seen 9 cycles. That's like because they've been so consistent, and they are associates. So important that we are, getting our people to switch their account to associate.
I mean, that bank, like you said, I mean, real estate, that's the perfect example. It is a prime real estate. I mean, you can will these spots to your children. Like, you think about that. I mean, go work for a corporation, give them your blood, sweat, and tears for, 30 years. You can't will that position over to your kids, right? That's done when you step away from that. I mean, this is something that your time and you're investing. I really want to, the word invest, like, that is just such a huge concept. I mean, being an investor. So this is my husband's account. I have not started building him out. You can talk to your mentor or watch videos to see as far as like how spouses work and whatnot. But so I'm just going to show you, though, the idea of somebody, and I had no idea how this worked. We didn't know what we were doing in the beginning. Jen didn't know, no one knew, there was no team. So we didn't know. So I didn't enroll my husband in the beginning, like at the top of my tree. So that would be my first invitation to everybody, is make sure your spouse is in your tree, and you want them at the very top of your organization and not low in your organization.
I enrolled Tom on the wrong side. I didn't know that for months that he was on the wrong side. So if you're enrolling your spouse, I recommend that you put them on your focus leg, which is your weaker side, so that you have one side you have a stronger side and a weaker side. So put them on your focus leg, if everybody knows what that means.
Yep, and generally so like the leg that you come in on is your team leg, and the leg that's not is your focus leg that we call it. But I mean, one person can change which one's, stronger too. So I mean, and I want to talk about this too. When you come in and off the bat, you start building. If you're somebody and you come in immediately, you're probably not going to have banked volume that much, starting out, because like if you're going like left, right, just because you're taking your cycles and you're pulling them out, or if you see somebody that, set for a year before they started building, like, you'll see somebody that has like, I mean, this is an insanely, this is banked volume right here. Well, he consumes the products. He's not building, but you'll see where it says this personal holding volume too. I really encourage everybody to have it every 29 days as well. The reason behind 29 days is because on day 30, the system resets. Remember how we talked about the 100 points every 30 days? Well, the system resets. But if you do it on day 29, all the points fall to this weaker leg. So I don't know, who's got a calculator? Let's see. What's 300? All right. You don't have to be good in math to build this business either. All right. So 8,326 divided by 300. So that would be 27 cycles. So if we enrolled 2 people underneath him, that would be, he would cycle out 27 times just from sitting and being a product user. So that's the power of being a personal, having somebody convert their account over to an associate. I believe with the new customer first, and anybody correct me if I'm wrong, you have 180 days to convert the account to a customer, or I'm sorry, to an associate, so that spot can have it. There is in the chat, I'm going to see, is it recommended to switch to associate right away? I heard conflicting advice. Some say wait because of the time frame and bonuses. So I say do it within 90 days or right before your first enrollment, whichever one comes first. Because then that is when your bonuses do start. And as far as my understanding is, you do bank your volume as long as you're at 100 points for your first 90 days as a customer. But then after that, there is no banking. So that is my understanding. So I have my people do it right before they enroll their first person, or 90 days, whichever one comes first. What about you, Jen? What do you do?
That's what I do.
So I hope that helps. So if there's any questions, you can ask in the chat. But again, guys, this volume, that's another thing, Isagenix, we don't flush volume. A lot of companies, they flush volume, or you don't use it, you lose it. It resets, or you're, I've had people that have been in other companies that do this now. And they're like, you don't understand what it was like at the end of the month, man. We used to have to get on the phone and just buy. Can you buy, just this product or that product? Or if you didn't do a certain amount of retail sales, that you couldn't even play in the compensation plan. Like, it's just your personal consumption is what you're consuming for your overhead in this. Let's see. So if you look again, just like how, I showed you all those points, that's what I mean by that vault. Like that 900,000 point is essentially sitting in a vault. And so then every single time 300 points comes out on one side, it pulls that 600 from if you do have banked volume on a side. But again, if you come right off the bat building left, right, you're probably going to pull your 600, 300, and that can fluctuate which one pulls the 600, 300 first. What else do you want to add, Jen? Or what other questions, guys, if you have questions?
There is a question. Would this account get the 5, 10, and 20 cycle bonus all at once?
No. So you have to be so for the 5 cycle bonus, you have to actually be a consultant the week prior for the 5 cycle bonus, because it prevents people who are just sitting like that and then pull out 5 cycles. So then you have to be a manager to do your 10 cycles. You have to be a director for the 20 cycles and executive for the 40 cycles. But no, for people who hit their 5 cycles the first time because they had a lot of banked volume from their personal holding volume and from just having, people, a team leg, you can't get that 255 cycle bonus. Do it that way. It would be the next time they hit 5 cycles, then they would be able to take it out. That's a good question. If a customer does not become associate in the first 90 days, will they lose the banked BV? Yes, they will. So that's why I say do it within 90 days, or because again, the crystal bonuses start when you have that first when you convert to an associate. If somebody enrolls with a $150 business volume qualifying pack on the right and less than 100 volume on the left, can they still become a consultant?
Can I answer
No.
this?
Yes.
I want to answer this. First of all, there is no reason why you guys should be enrolling anybody with less than one of these three starter packs. Why? Because we want to set our people up for success. We want them to have an amazing product experience, because what happens when they do? They share, right? So if you're setting them up with anything less than one of those three systems, you're doing them a disservice. Okay, not only from a product standpoint, but from a business standpoint. So let's not enroll anyone with less than a 30-day with chocolates. That's the basic system. That's a qualifying pack, and they're going to have the best results.
All right, so I just got a message that somebody thinks that the BV holds for 180 days, but stops accumulating after the 90 days, but holds the one for 180. I think. I don't know. Do you know that, Jen?
What? So say it again.
All right. I'm just going to put it in the, let's see. All right. It's in the chat. Or wait, hold on. That's not going to everybody. That's what a chat just came through. Second aha moment of my weekend. Thanks, Jennifer. We'll verify on that.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
I thought it was 92, but
all the details. I don't know. Something I probably should know, but no, I don't know that.
You share, they share, repeat. That's what I know. You share, they share, repeat.
That's what I do. But, you know, we're so fortunate that we have amazing tools. We have FYI, we have Isagenix Business, we have, you know, all of these great places to go so we can find out there we go. And so we can find out the answers to those questions.
The FYI. That is where I would go, but I am going to verify that. Just, I mean, I definitely want to know that as well. Yeah. You guys, you know, you don't have to be this crazy rock star, this person that's out of the park, like to start having success in this business, or if you're going to be consistent and long-term, and you don't have to be, you know, you don't have to be Jennifer Trainer and say, I want to go really fast and do it this way. Or, you know, maybe you're somebody and you love your job. Like I work with some people and they love what it is that they do. But you know what? Working 2 less days a week and just working part-time is really enticing, right? Is being able to spend more time with their family, or to create income, or to send their kids to college. You guys, kids are going to college these days. They're getting in so much debt. They're paying 8% front-loaded loans. You know, they're getting out and $70,000, $80,000 of debt, and they're getting jobs paying them $32,000 a year, right? Like it's a devastation what's happening right now for the younger generation. And, you know, you think about being able to have something like this, to be able to, you know, if you want to help your kids with college, or if you have, you know, credit card debt is living on the left side of the quadrant, because you're paying interest on money. You're paying interest instead of making interest, instead of creating residual. So it's like, maybe this is to just pay down that credit card debt, or take that family vacation that you haven't taken, or, you know, everybody's story is different. Learn people's stories, learn what it is that this opportunity could do for them. And don't be afraid to cast the vision for people. Don't be afraid to tell your business story. Even before you have a business story, if you're somebody and you're committed to building this business and you're going to go, like, you can tell people that. Tell people, you know, Jennifer, you told people you were going to go to the top, you know, like, before you were going to the top, you told people you were going to the top.
I was committed, you know, and I didn't care how many no's I was going to get. And you guys, if you're right now just discouraged because you've gotten so many no's, I promise you, if you don't give up, so many of those no's will be yeses. And I know that there are a lot of people on my team that told me no, thought I was crazy for a year longer. There's a lady, one of my, you know, somebody that I've known for a very long time on this call tonight. I've known her for years. I don't even know, 10 years maybe. And she finally said yes. So just don't give up. She loves the products. Now she's, you know, doing the business. So just don't give up. People just don't know what they don't know yet. So that no, that NO, means they don't K-N-O-W what they don't know yet. So just don't give up. Get yourself to events. Do what you can. Get on calls. Keep sharing. Learn as you go. You don't have to be a master. I was certainly a disaster, to get to where I am today. And it takes 10,000 hours to become a pro at anything. So just remember that. You didn't go to, 4 years of college to get a degree. How long did it take you to get that degree? It took you 4 years to learn, right? To learn to get that degree. It's the same thing. But here you get paid as you go and you learn as you go, and the tools are free.
Yeah, it's the food that you eat. You guys, think about that. Like, it's not crazy to us to go get in $100,000 of student loan debt to then get out and have a job and go to work for somebody where we're a job just over broke, right? Where we're not creating a residual asset for ourselves. Like, we don't consider that crazy. So it's just completely, getting educated. I would encourage everybody to watch the movie, The Rise of the Entrepreneur. That is a phenomenal movie. That is a great movie night for you and your spouse. It really is a movie just to understand where the economy is going. The business of the 21st century really talks about just network marketing. Also, Paul Zane Pilzer, The Next Millionaires. It says there's more millionaires out of 2 industries than any other industries, and it's the health and wellness industry. It's not going anywhere, and it's network marketing. And then if you look at Isagenix and you really become a student of like just kind of the industry and what we have with Isagenix, I'm telling you guys, it is like the holy grail with Jim and Kathy and Eric Coover and a private company. You definitely want to read the book Go Pro by Eric Worre. I would encourage that. Those numbers that I showed you, the 4 who find 4 who find 4, that is what kept me up when I really understood residual income. So I highly encourage that. And you just can't not go to events, like if you're serious about this. Jen, if you want to touch on events, and I know there's an event coming up, we have our Core 4 events, so isagenixevents.com. Jennifer, I know you're hosting. Your events are always so amazing. They're just, you go all out for them. And I know that's going to be in Columbia, South Carolina on the 14th of October. I have an event. It's a top 50. It's more of a personal development one. That's going to be in November in Hilton Head with Rod Harrison. If any of you guys do Healthy Mind and Body, post details about that. But talk about like the Core 4 events or your associate run events. Like, what's the importance of that? Have you ever seen somebody be successful not going to events? I personally haven't.
No, I haven't. Events are everything, you guys. And as Casey said, if you are really serious about this business, events are non-negotiable. I don't miss events. I haven't missed an event since the first NYKO that I went to. And I went there with two people. And I kept hearing people talk about teams, and I'm like, team? I mean, I didn't even know what it meant. And then I went back the next time, and I had like 60 people there. So it's just, again, it's that compound effect. And now, our meetings have hundreds and hundreds of people. Celebration had, 500 and something people, a lot of people. So our next event, our team event, is Super Saturday on October 14th. And then Casey and I are having a training here at my home for managers and above. So if you are not manager and you're planning on coming to Super Saturday, please get to manager. This is going to be such a great training for all of you. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Our next event after that is going to be our corporate event in YKO. That's going to be in Phoenix. The dates, Casey, do you have the dates? They're on my board back here.
I don't, but I can get them.
They are January 11th through the 13th, okay? And you can find all of the events at isagenixevents.com. They're all listed there. So the 4 core events are NYKO, IC University, University in Action, and Celebration. So don't miss events. They are life-changing, you guys, life-changing. You'll grow so much. You'll learn so much. You'll learn about this company, the products. You'll get to meet the team. I mean, they're just, I can't say enough. Just be sure that you get to the events.
If you want to find the Super Saturday, you can just click on the associate run events here. And that's where you can find the the one in Columbia, South Carolina. So it would actually be in this one. And then here's all the ones that Jen was just talking about. So I agree. Everything you said. I mean, events, that's where I saw the vision. It's like, you see it, and they can't be optional. But I'm going to answer these last. Go ahead.
It's not just about you guys getting to events. It's bringing your people with you, because the events do the work for you. It really does. All the training is there. What did they say, Casey? One for each person that gets to an event, it's worth like $1,000 for your business. So just think about that. You know, if you bring 3 people to an event, that's like $1,000 each that's going to come into your business, because they're going to catch the vision. They're going to catch the vision, and they're going to walk away, and they're going to start to build.
And that's it, you guys. And then it becomes like so fun, like when you have like a little team, and it can take a while to get that first person. I mean, I know for me, like for Wendy, like it was a year before I had my first person that really wanted to run with me, you know, and so it's okay. But if you're a runner, like you will find it, and you know, you can pull one person and you can run with 1,000. So people who just want to be casual sharers, let them be casual sharers, as long as we've done our part of casting the vision, and we make sure that we've explained everything. We've told them where that we're going to the top. We're going to take anybody who wants to go with us, or like where we're going, our goals. Like people will be casual sharers. It's okay. And a casual sharer can then turn into a big builder. Just like that story that Jen just shared. So just be patient with people, but really work with your people who want to run with you. Super, super important, because time is definitely valuable. I'm going to answer these 2 questions, and then I'll let Jen have the last word for us. I had a customer return their package. No worries. I have had that too. It was working and she was getting results. Shocked when she turned it. Some people aren't just committed. How does that affect my compensation? So they're not going to take money like back. But like, let's say that the pack, and I'm just going to say this for ease of math purposes, was 150, we'll say, points. Okay, 150 points was that pack. When that return goes through, if you had like banked volume of 600, that 150 would go from that 600 that's banked there. If you didn't have any bank volume, you would show like a negative 150 points there. But then when the points came back, it would go. So that's how your points get affected on that. At what point do I need to hire an accountant? You know, I definitely don't give tax advice. I definitely pay people for that. Having a good accountant is super important, though. I mean, super, super important to have a good accountant. I would encourage, and I'll let Jen speak to this too, finding somebody who is really good at home-based businesses. I know that's one that I use, and she's amazing. And I mean, that's another, you guys, that's a huge benefit to having an Isagenix business, is your tax write-offs. So understanding your tax write-offs. There's apps that you can use to keep up with it. But yeah, I definitely encourage you. I mean, I went and hired one, and I told her, I said, hey, I need to set myself up for making $20,000 a month. And she laughed at me, because I was definitely not making $20,000 a month when I went to her. But you know, I went and I manifested it. What do you want to say on that, Jen, about at what point to hire an accountant?
Same thing. I don't give advice like that, but I do recommend a good accountant, because especially if you're going to be doing this business, your income is going to compound, and you really have to stay ahead of that, or you're going to be paying a whole lot of taxes. And we pay a lot of taxes anyway, but you just don't want to get in trouble by not having a good accountant, and as you said, get so many write-offs with a home-based business.
It can make you money. I mean, having a home-based business can make you, if you have a good accountant. If you have a good accountant and you follow the I mean, it's amazing what you can do. Laura Masella used ISA FYI, and she answered our question for us. So she put it in there, the answer with customer first. Customers and preferred customers can accumulate group volume for their first 90 days, then freeze that volume for an additional 90. Also, customers and preferred customers can accumulate excess personal volume over that 180 or over the 100 points. But again, if you do it on day 29, it all falls to the week. Randall laughs. I laugh. You'll be calling me. You'll have a lot of people calling you, Randy. You're beast, my friend. All right, and PC only get PV and not BV on what is going on underneath them. Preferred customers only get personal volume, not business volume on what is going underneath. I won't need if that's. I'll have to check. Jen, what's your knowledge on that?
I think I remember hearing something like that they only get their own personal BV. We need to.
So even in the first 90 days, Joy. I'm gonna do some research. But again, you don't have to know it all. Just know where to find it.
If that's the case, then we would want to. Would want to switch them to associate faster, right? If they're only earning the personal volume.
Right, for sure. No, yeah, that would absolutely mean that. So, all right, guys, cast the vision. Cast the vision. I'm telling you, people, the wealth creation is not talked about enough. Tell your story. Tell where you're going. People are on their hands and knees. They're praying. The average person, $500 could save a marriage, an additional $500 a month. People are drowning financially sometimes, and you have a solution for it. And people eat every single day. Who doesn't deserve help? So we're just getting started with global expansion. Super exciting to be just getting started with global expansion. So what, any last words, Jen?
Well, I was just going to say, for those of you that are on and you're just casual sharers, right? You're just casual sharers. It may not be the right time for you to start to build. Just don't quit. Don't let your auto ship go inactive. Don't fall below 100 BV, because when you do decide that this is a great opportunity for you, or it's the right time, or you get fired up about the business, you go to an event, you catch the vision, that volume is there. And just like I said, it's like a piece of real estate. It's an investment. So don't give it up. Really, don't give it up. And if I can ever be of help to any of you, you know where I am. I'm glad to help any of you.
She's on Facebook. And there's your beautiful mini-me behind you. Hi. There she is. Not camera shy. We love watching your dance videos.
It's a really long call, but I hope that you guys took away some nuggets. And thank you, Casey. You're just a master at this plan, and I love you.
All right, mwah, love you too. All right, bye guys. Cast the vision, share the vision, share the vision. Bye, bye Zoe. Bye. Little rock star dancer.